Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are live and back at it again. We are ready to go. Welcome to the Wrestling for Life Network. It's another night of live streaming as we bring you WWE NXT tonight. It's going to be a fun one, folks. Get in that chat. Don't be quiet. Don't be shy. Make sure you click all the buttons, like, share, subscribe, be a part of the family, be a part of the For Life Army as we continue to roll. But strap in, strap on, grab your snacks, grab your feel good, and let's go! Ding, ding, ding. We are live and back at it again, folks. Welcome to the Wrestling for Life Network, the channel that just watches more live wrestling than anybody else out there, bringing you WWE NXT tonight. It's going to be a fun one. Lots planned for the show tonight. We're going to dive into all of it, and we will have all your reaction to all the action, and it's going to be a fun one as always. Remember, the wrestling might suck. We never do. I see that chat filling up already. We want to see triple digits in this chat, so be a friend, tell a friend. We are this close to 6K, so help us get there. But I will remind everybody out there, for the next couple hours, you're strapped in with Mr. Every Night KJ White, the Iron Man of YouTube, and Mr. Big Nick.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Wrestling for Life Network proudly brings to you its tag stream champions of the world. And if you heard that voice crack earlier, it's the prepubescent night delight, Mr. KJ White and everything. But I am Mr. Big Nick. And yes, as we're fresh off of ECW, or NXT goes ECW, NXT goes Extreme, we're already on the road to deadline, my guy. We're already getting Iron Survivor matches tonight.
We were on a road that we didn't know we were on. They just paved it recently, so real quick turnaround. We're going to get the Iron Survivor qualifiers starting tonight. I believe Wes Lee is taking on somebody important, Cedric, and then we got taking on Cora Jade. So a couple good matches for this one to kick off the qualifiers. Of course, we have Giulia and Stephanie taking on Lash and Jackson. By the way, we coined that phrase just like Hank and Tank. Lash and Jackson is ours to keep. But,
has they been using that?
Not yet.
I don't know why I said that all fucked up like that, but have they been using that?
It's all right. I didn't do my vocal practice before the show.
Yeah, that's fine. Cow now, brown cow, unique New York, unique New York.
Red leather, yellow leather. But we're also getting Nikita Lyons taking on Adriana Rizzo. So near and dear to your Paisanish heart. Is that Paisanish?
Yeah, but we also got thicker than a Snickers, Nikita Lyons out there too as well. And she's out there very much, emphasizing on certain things, I'll say.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Again, she's still on her comeback tour. She apparently jumped Rizzo, so we'll see what happens as far as this breaks down tonight. Looking forward to it. NXT's been a lot of fun as of late, so no real again, it's been consistent week to week to week. So I don't expect anything less from tonight's show.
NXT's a great night of wrestling. I know for the longest time I said it was the most consistent, I can't remember exactly how I said it. Yeah, most consistent is actually how I said it, to where, it will still always land at about like a 7-8 on our rating scale type of thing. It's always a solid night of wrestling. It may not, you may have some few misses or what have yous, but it's always super solid. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it might not be perfect across the board, but it's pretty solid most nights. So we're pretty happy with it. And again, like you said, kind of consistency is king on this one. So looking forward to this one, Nick, for sure.
Did you see the thing going around too of, how old AEW and all of that used to raise the beacon of how much women's wrestling they have featured. And now there was a stat that popped out to where pretty much everything WWE was like 20-30% women's wrestling, while AEW across all of their television couldn't equal 10%.
Well, we've been talking about it a lot. I mean, again, I think it's one of my concerns if I was Tony Khan, as far as my booking goes. We haven't highlighted the women very well. We haven't done it very much. I feel like certain women, it's kind of like that thing, right? He's the kid with the new toy where he kind of hyper focuses on one person at a time. And meanwhile, you have tons of talent just sitting by the wayside, waiting to be used. And it's unfortunate that he can't find a way. I mean, considering who he is using, like we're talking about Anna Jay, and I have no problem with Anna Jay, but I mean, she kind of pole vaulted past a large number of women to get to where she is about to be. So very interesting. But they do have to book the women's division better. I even think the hardest, and AEW fans have to admit that.
Right. Well, and even with everything we've already gone through with NXT tonight, it's largely in the women's division.
Again, it's been an absolute haven. Like, if you are an aspiring female wrestler, you have to be impressed and excited about how much WWE, NXT in particular, is highlighting this division, and how well they're using them. Like, I mean, it's got to be a place where you want to land, because you know you're going to get preeminent spots, you're going to get main events, you're going to be in storylines that matter. And in a lot of cases, you're probably going to matter more than the men, which is hard to say in a muscle-driven, wrestling world.
Gone is the days of Vince McMahon with the ICO pros and everything. But that's, I think, why you see Giulia, why you see especially a Stephanie Vaquer end up in WWE and NXT instead of AEW. I mean, Christ, even Delta, Zarya, all of that. I may hate the name, but the fact that now all of your big independent women are going to NXT. Christ, we've talked about it of Jordan Grace. We think it's all for naught that pretty much when she's done with TNA, she's going right over to WWE NXT.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like a foregone conclusion. So, I mean, and I don't see why not. I mean, we see the relationship. Now people are talking about, does she bypass NXT and go in straight into the main roster when she's ready?
She could do it.
She could.
But then again, you're bypassing then, depending at the time of, you could say some people still feel that way with like Roxanne. Some people feel that way, obviously, with Stephanie and Giulia, etc. I've heard the rumor, and I will say hi to everybody in the chat real quick here. I'm just going to say this real fast. I've heard the rumor that Metaphor has been called up to the main roster.
I think Lash and Jackson's ready to go. I don't know about the rest of them. I mean, Meta 2 might be the way to go. And as I said, I mean, Lash and Jackson, they've been outstanding. They got the look, they got the vibe, they got the feel. You've made comparables.
And the momentum.
And the momentum. And you've made comparables to like Jade and what they've done with Jade. So, I mean, again, I have no problem with them making this move. And it might have got them there faster than some of the other women, but c'est la vie. That's how it goes.
Right. Well, and still sometimes it's like what we saw even at times with a Braun Breaker is a good example. When you thought he was going to go up to the main roster a lot faster than he did, but it really, I think, helped him in the long run. Of like example, sure. Roxanne being down there still.
Yeah. And again, I mean, she's been able to find a new groove. Like, she went heel and it allowed her to develop and kind of go, okay, now if you bring her up and she goes babyface, she has the ability to go back. It's good. It's nothing but development. And I really do think the new, like the system they have set up now with everything going on, I think they're in a position where they don't have to rush any talent.
Right. Well, speaking of Russian talent, let's say hi to the people.
Russian talent, indeed. But yes, let's say hello to some people. Folks, get in that chat. I hope everyone out there is happy, healthy, and safe. You're enjoying your Tuesday. You put it in the books. We're going to cap it off in about 5 minutes with NXT, so we're going to make this one quick. But Clay Lewis, what's up? Isaac, welcome. I will remind everyone, if you know any Raw spoilers for Monday coming, I don't want to hear them. Keep them to yourself.
Fair enough. Oh, and I will say this fast. I think this is the first time Clay's actually been watching the show. We were watching too as well, and he's actually proclaimed it in the comments.
There you go. Not talking about all the other things.
Historic, record-breaking, folks.
KJ Wright, I like that one. And Big Nick, see you tonight. Well, welcome, music. See Money, welcome back. Damien, Nick, reminding everyone to join the Discord. It's popping over there. Go check it out. What's up, Wrestling Proud? How you doing? Hashtag Road to 6K. I love it. We appreciate it. We're grateful. So yes, get in there. Be a friend. Tell a friend. Anybody you know that talks wrestling, or anywhere you know that people are talking about wrestling, drop our link. Let them know about us. We want to hit that 6K mark as soon as possible. We're inching closer and closer each day. So close. Right. What's up, Spaz? What's up, Boston? Yo, Paul's back in the house. Daniel Barry Sports Highlights. How you doing? How you doing? Scott Rizzo, good to see you, sir. Hope you're doing well. Eric, always a pleasure. Too busy to come to Raw stream. Oh, there you go, Nick. Yeah, there you go.
No, and I appreciate that, Anthony, was out there for Monday Night Raw and everything like that. And yeah, always gotta, it's a nice rotation here. We got the triangle offense going on right now.
It works. So yeah, no, it's good to have Nick back. And yeah, no, absolutely. We appreciate Anthony being here last night. We will see Anthony again on Thursday for the trivia showdown. Evening, Cherokee George, what's up? What is the big main event tonight? I don't know officially what the main event is going to be. It could be the tag match on our screen.
I'm assuming it's the tag match on our screen. That's what I would assume because, you've got essentially two potential main roster talents taking on two future main roster talent.
The Kraken. I think that's a new name.
What up? That's a new name. The Kraken, as KJ's voice is cracking.
Cracking that ass. Wanking. See money. Spaz with a $10 super chat. Remember, folks, it's the best way to get clicked on. Cheers to K, Jiggity, Jam, Nick. And because of this, man, No Diggity came on the radio this weekend, and I couldn't help but think of K Jiggity. But thank you. Nick,
I will, if I can digress for a quick second here and everything of shout out MDB, because me and him were talking in the fantasy football chat, and the question got brought up about how CD Lamb spells it CD with like two E's after everything. And there was a question brought up of why KJ doesn't spell K. It's not KAY, JAY. And I was like, that sounds like a Spaz Phoenix comment.
Right. Too many letters.
No disrespect.
No, too many letters. Nick, the names master. All right. And Tony, sour cream and onion. Ooh, that almost got dirty quick. And most importantly, the community, that's more fun since the last time I buttered my cat. This is going sideways quick. You're losing. Right. Cheers for your success. Thank you so much, Spaz. We appreciate the love. 316, welcome back. Eric, welcome back. ABJ, our current predictions champion. Congrats once again. The champ is here. See money, we got you. Denisha, Jason, Richard. Meltzer reported Ryback to NXT. Meltzer's on drugs. Keyshawn.
I got a thing you and I need to talk about Meltzer when it comes to commercial.
I got 1 minute. Dale, the OG. Capone. We got 316, folks. If we miss your comment, make sure you enter it back in or use the super chats or super stickers. Hashtag KJ. Jose with the super chat. Right. I appreciate these shows. Keep it up. Jose, keep coming back. Keep doing the super chats. And it only helps us stick around even more. Hashtag cracking that. That's absolutely.
Right. Oh, we got Trex in. Everyone hit that thumbs up, share, and subscribe. Please, these guys kick ass. Appreciate you, my guy. Right. Yeah, Alex, we got all the bells, whistles, and everything for you.
Dun, dun, dun. I feel like we're on the 8 o'clock hour. So I'm going to refresh and see what's up, sir.
Same. I hit the buttons and I'm putting my hands up, so I'm not touching nothing. So the chips fall where they lay. I have Lincoln Continental commercial.
I got the end of the UFC preview for this weekend. Kyle, what's up? How you doing? I'm
about to pause on next like I usually do.
All right, hold up.
Or now, I'm on now. I'm pausing on now. I don't know why I said next. I think NXT. What?
No, I'm just playing with you. Watch. What do we got?
I'm waiting on a now. How now, brown cow?
I don't know what's happening. Got that one. All right, we didn't miss any super chats. Trek, we appreciate the kind words. Now.
Fair enough. But God damn it.
Forever.
Now you're gonna have to hold up on forever.
Okay.
Or at least together. I got forever now.
Yes.
I will come together.
Together.
There we go. Come together right now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Nick and I are synced up, dialed in, and ready to go for NXT tonight. Make sure you get in that chat. Let us know what's on your wrestling mind. We got lots to talk about, lots to get into as we are being presented, or they're being presented by Progressive. Mr. Noobs, good to see you. Nick's voice tone mirrors my diesel Cummins engine. Break Pause. He's
Well, I
right?
mean, I don't know how my voice sounds outside of my own head and everything. So, I mean, I know the missus, granted, she's the missus, but she's like, read me a book. I'm like, I don't know.
I don't want to know. Missing the first part
Fuck
of the
you, asshole. Why'd you gotta go dirty with it? I read your mind. I'm psychic.
Tell me a story, Nick.
Screw you.
Oh, we're going back to the 2300 arena. It looks like AEW is coming back to New York in December. Yeah, so we'll talk about Hammerstein being a thing.
Hammerstein? Yeah, well, no, it was Ring of Honor, not AEW. Ring of Honor would be having Death Before Dishonor back in the Hammerstein Ballroom.
No,
is what
it's
I've heard.
Collision the night.
You're bullshitting.
As far as I know, it's Collision. It's not Ring of Honor.
What homage are they going to pay on Collision to the Hammerstein Ballroom? That's Sunday Night Heat.
What's up, Chris? What's up, Brandon? How you doing? How you doing? Shake that ass. Show me what you're working with. Jason.
Attention, all young players right now. The place
you get us singing already. Trek, thank you. WWE changed the Deadline logo to WWE Deadline. I didn't catch that. I know they changed the coloring on it.
No, I didn't know that they put capital letters on it instead of, lowercase letters.
Right. MDB, the Tuesday night knee pads are in the house. Capone, I think we said hello to you. Dun, 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 dun.
No, I'm gonna to hell with you, MDB. Tell me a story of how you file your taxes.
Tell me about your accounts receivable.
Just call me IRS now. That's who I should have dressed up for on the Halloween stream is IRS. At this point,
we them boys in the house. Did anyone catch MJF throwing someone's $500 belt? I did see that.
He's got a WWE belt. Hey, as we're starting off with Lash and Jakara here.
All right, so it's not the main event tonight.
No, well, it's the opener. How fucking apropos is it that we thought it was going to be the main event, and I guess it's the opener with Lash and Jackson. Laminated signs a metaphor.
Classic.
What is happening?
Nick and KJ reenacting storytelling section from Princess Bride. Yo, when I was young, I was actually Wes Lee in a local little
Snipes.
Yeah, I wish that would have been way
better. Call you Daywalker now.
As we were getting
the only real big thing I remember from Princess Bride is you keep using that word. I don't think you know what it is.
My name is Diego Montoya. Lash and Jackson.
Tell my father, prepare today. There we go. Two things.
Andre was awesome in that movie. I had a friend who's 6'8", so he played Andre very well.
You have a friend that's 6'8"?
Yeah, he's a big bastard.
Well, no shit. He's 6'8". Bro, I'm the little brother out of being the oldest still. I'm big little bro, and my brother's 6'6". I couldn't even imagine having a homie who's 6'8". Are you Shaq?
Super tall, and he looked like Nick Carter in the 90s. I was fucking invisible standing next to that
guy. Well, still, respectfully, do you want to go with a 6'2" Nick Carter or a 6'8" Nick Carter? He gonna fuck everything up. You're gonna have a different anatomy after that shit.
I had a sore neck. That's what I had.
As I've got Stephanie and Giulia coming out right now. They need an actual tag team name. If you're gonna keep using them as a tag team, you need an actual tag team name with them.
The entrance is unbelievable, though. Dude, I can't wait to see some of these athletes on the main roster, that grand entrance, right?
I'm in for Giulia as a WrestleMania entrance. Giulia versus Asuka at WrestleMania. Strap on and strap in, literally and figuratively.
What's up, Anthony? Hope you're feeling better, sir. I know he was fighting a little bit of the blues. Right. I vote Team Giulia. Yeah, get your votes in, folks. Who you taking? as we take a prediction on every single match. We take a rating at the end of every night. We want to know how you guys feel about the shows and what's going on. Right now, 77% of the chat taking Giulia and Stephanie. I don't know if we get a winner in this one, to be honest.
No, I do still think that that's a smart choice, especially if Lash and Jakara are getting bumped up to the main roster. Maybe they take the out, and it's still you have Giulia and Stephanie, who are like ones that you expect could challenge for the world title, not just being tag matches. So it's two really good single stars. It's like John Cena and HBK as a tag team. You kind of got to pull for them, even though they're not going to be a tag team.
Yeah, and I mean, again, we saw last week Zarya gets the pin, which was unexpected. Which again, they're highlighting. I mean, it can't be easy bringing in all this talent all at the one time.
Yeah, the translator's got to be working fucking double time.
I hate that stupid thing Giulia has on her face when she comes out. How are we hating on that? Really, Scott? I like
it. We're gangbanging on Cheerios type of shit. We're gangbanging on opening credits. Like, I mean, it's not that bad. Like, it's a face hugger from Aliens at best.
Right.
So.
Yeah. She got a face hugger.
You're right. See? Track. Not mind.
Steph for the win. Giulia and Steph for the win.
That's a bold strategy if you're going to pick exactly who gets the pinfall.
Yeah, going bold.
Right.
But again, I think Jakara and Lash have it.
You really think they get the win?
I don't think they win tonight. I don't know if we actually get a winner.
No, I think we get a winner, and I think it's probably going to be Jakara Jackson that takes the pin. Respectfully, I don't know who's going to get the pin, but I think, like I said, Stephanie and Giulia, they're two individuals who could challenge for the world title. They're more singles competitors versus tag competitors. And Lash and Jakara, Lash and Jakara, I said it right, are going to the main roster, so they'll probably take an L or two on the way out of NXT.
Right. The cohesion, the tandem offense. Again, some of the best tag team wrestling we're getting in all of wrestling right now. I'll smoke that. I'll smoke to that. I was like, I'll smoke it too.
Fair enough. I don't know what we're smoking. It's probably some K2 or shit.
Almost 80% going Giulia and Steph. So not a lot of love for Lash and Jackson.
Well, like I said, I think that they're going to the main roster. So I think they're going to do the JOB a time or two. And speaking of names, we need to come up with the name for Stephanie's just the thunderclap there.
Oh, that's the fucking Thigh Master.
Thunder Snatch.
It's becoming my favorite move. I didn't hear a word you were saying the whole time you were doing it.
Oh, Lash is about to do her little Herculean spot and have everybody both on her shoulders here.
Thunderclap.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Lash just jerking both these women around.
Whoa!
You heard me.
Yeah, I did. That doesn't mean it's right.
It's accurate. I kind of like the TNA Knockouts division, women's tag team division, but who's in it right now? It's pretty thin. That's the only problem.
Name me a team besides Jody Threat and Danny Luna, and then Alicia Edwards, and who?
Alicia's not even with MASH anymore. But we're going to commercial break with Lash and Jackson in control.
Is that about to be the new curse of if you're going over before the commercial break, you're about to lose this fucking match?
Might be. Did you see them teasing Zarya and Jordan Grace? Take my money. You can have it.
Death by Susu. I'm fine with it.
Easy. That's an easy one.
You're right. Apparently Joe Tessitore last night during Raw called it WWE Deadline, and HBK tweeted out a tweet with WWE Deadline. I think they're trying to put NXT on the same level as Raw and SmackDown.
But they have been. That's their third
shit for 100, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, again, they've talked a lot about NXT being that third brand, and again, building it up with its own stars outside of we're just here to feed the. We know people are going to get picked up, but they still want the brand to be robust and successful, independent from people being called up.
NXT always runs this weird intersection. It constantly gets stopped at a four-way stop of, is it the third brand? Is it developmental? Which is it?
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
Sorry,
ahead. Boston saying lame spot, took too long to set up. No way they would stand there waiting for this chick to jump off her shoulders and tap on top of them. What is modern wrestling for 1,000? Thank you.
Whoa. As we're on a commercial break, and this reminds me, speaking of modern wrestling and speaking of modern wrestling personalities that suck, how do you feel about our devil, the one that we constantly say to hell with him, of Dave Meltzer going at Dutch Mantel during his GoFundMe and health issues and everything like that?
Did he go at him? Like, so here's where I didn't even talk about this last night. But I had an issue with him kind of doing what he does. So what I knew that he had done, and you can fill me in with what I've missed, but what I had caught was the fact that here he is doing this typical Dave of, look what Tony and Jericho did, but like had to scroll past names like Cornette. Like, again, like to use the situation that Dutch is going through, to use the situation his wife is going through, to kind of highlight, like, look at the Saints that are AEW. It's really fucking weird. It's really twisted. But
well, and that's more of it was just that expounding on it of like, whoa, Dutch is the guy that went at AEW and everything. Like he really spun that into like to hell with Dutch. Because that's the thing is the video I saw was the guy who, and I can't remember his name, I apologize. Lovely British man, clean shaven, unlike us, and everything, that does the podcast with Dutch and everything. He did a whole video explaining about how like he's bastardizing Dutch and everything like that.
Yeah.
And while he's trying to seek help for this and that and everything, just to amplify AEW just because.
Well, I mean, we're back to the action, folks. I've been on the record. We have t-shirts that say it. I'll say it again clear, and I'll clip it and tag them because I don't give a fuck. But at the end of the day, fuck you, Dave Meltzer. Like, Dave Meltzer is one of the biggest cancers in pro wrestling. He is the leader of tribalism. He is divisive. He is bringing nothing positive to the table. And the fact that anybody out there pays a membership to read his half coherent words, he spends 80% of his time defending one brand. That is insane. That is like having an ESPN reporter that only talks about one sports team or one league. It is fucking madness. But we've been on the record, Nick, and I will say it very clear. Dave Meltzer, fuck you.
Right. We have merchandise that we even did just so we could get it past the centers, and we even do it for, charity for literacy and everything. Absolutely. 100%. I almost wore my, long sleeve, Meltzer shirt and everything like that, but 100%. It's for the centers of Meltzers who can't read good. But yes, we are back in action.
What is that? Oh, wow. Sunset Bomb.
Right, but Dave Meltzer somehow managed to go from Walter Cronkite to Alex Jones, and no one wants to take notice to that. And that's the thing, is to me, he's so unhinged and unreliable and everything like that at this point. That the fact that he still gets the credibility that he does is baffling.
It's again, and I've said this a million times, and I will stay on the record for this. Publications like Cultaholic, I like them guys. I think they do an okay job. But for them to go out there and quote Meltzer all the time to get clicks blows my fucking mind. That when you're scrolling through Twitter, it's like, as said on Wrestling Observer Radio or as heard on Wrestling. Like, fuck, he is not a reliable source.
Alvarez is actually better than Meltzer. I'll say that, as the double team move from Stephanie and Giulia as 1, 2. Oh, Lash breaks it up.
Okay, yes, I missed it.
Yeah. No, 100%.
He never recants. He never takes things back. He doesn't apologize. He is just simply fucking mind-numbing, and he's killing the wrestling business. I heard someone the other day talking about the best thing, and we've said it a million times. Tony Khan needs to cut that motherfucker off. You need to
that's literally, like I said, the homie that I listen to that does the podcast and everything with Dutch and everything was like, that's the best move Tony can do is just cut him off 100%. Yes, I got a article from Cultaholic that you and I need to talk about the next commercial break and everything. But yes, no, 100%. I like that we're the Shannon Sharp out here of skip with Meltzer out here. He's just Skip Bayless. He's just, how can I say shit to stay relevant? Oh, Skip.
Oh, we're about to get it. Stereo knees, the V triggers, if you will. Golden trigger.
Feel like
I like it.
Probably a good population out there that would be happy calling that the stairway to heaven. And with no disrespect to Led Zeppelin, because they probably like, yes, country road, take me home.
Right. But no, and I mean, again, one of the biggest things that turned me off of Meltzer, even though we had been bashing him for a long time, I mean, this is a guy who was reporting a guy like Bray Wyatt walked out due to creative issues. Meanwhile, Bray Wyatt's dealing with heart issues and never once said, my bad, misreporting, oops, my bad, never. He reported off his death wrong. He is wrong about so much. He is a shitty weatherman version of a reporter.
We sat there and did a whole stream and everything like that about when everybody got caught up in the whole, hullabaloo that WWE even sold to Saudi Arabia and everything like that. And then proceeded to sit there and do a whole video like, we got it wrong, we got duped like everybody else and everything like that. We're more apt to recant anything that we say, and we're talking opinion versus he tries to talk like shit's factual dactual.
Joe, Steph, and Giulia shake hands, but very much like, I'll see you soon. Now, come on, man. This is going to be absolutely cool. New interview guy? I thought it was the ring announcer.
Well, could you see either one of those women as the WWE US women's title holder, what have you? Because we're still debating on that, and we still don't know if we're going to get an IC title.
Yeah, I think they're holding back the IC title. They're going to let one breathe. They're going to let it breathe. I think we are going to get one.
I thought that's what they were doing the North American title.
What do you mean?
As in they were going to let that simmer saute in NXT before they introduced. Like, I already thought, I'm surprised they introduced the US women's title this soon.
Yeah, as we were getting the rundown of the rules for Deadline, 25-minute match, 5 participants. Falls can be counted anywhere. If you get pinned or submitted, you got to go to the penalty box. I mean, it's been fun. Last year's was fun.
Right. Is it just me or is it
Chris,
right. Is it just me or is it everybody that was getting that in 10 frames a second?
Right.
So I'm getting them. Yeah.
What's up, Robert? Yeah, I'm good with that. Right. We talked about that briefly. Thoughts on Ted Turner documentary coming soon to soon called Ted. You mean the teddy bear? Yeah, no, I mean, should be interesting. I mean, Ted probably a little less salacious than Vince, but it'll be interesting.
Is it a little bit like, My Name is Earl? I feel like it might be closer to that.
All right, next match on the docket, folks.
Ruca.
This is a qualifier for Deadline.
Ruca's managed to walk that tightrope ever so gracefully, actually, of she's somebody that they push heavily in NXT, but people don't get sick of her.
No, because I mean, we haven't seen a lot of her. She did spend some time in TNA as well. I think she's talented. I think there's a lot of future for her. I think
more people are sick of Nikkita Lyons than they are of Ruca.
Yeah, I don't think that. I don't know. I mean, I haven't heard much. I mean, I don't feel like we get Soul a ton. Like we haven't had a lot of Soul. So I think we're pretty good with. I think that's why part of it is that feel. So yeah, I mean, again, I think Soul Ruka is just at the beginning. I think she's going to take an L tonight unless somebody distracts Cora. I think Cora is going to be in this match.
Oh, no, Soul Ruka is going to be in there probably because we're going to get like a Soul Snatcher off the little shark cage thing that
Cora
they have
Jade
at
not
ringside.
losing clean.
She doesn't have to lose clean, what have you, but I'm predicting she's taking the L.
You think Cora Jade's going to eat the L?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. I would be very
like
surprised.
I said, I think we're gonna get like a Soul Snatcher or something like that off the little shark cage that they have at ringside and everything. So like I've said this of you've actually been a bigger guy on Soul Ruka than I have
100%.
and everything of right to where she's been really heavily featured, and I think they're gonna really kind of go with that, I think, sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, I think she's got a lot of upside. I just think Cora Jade's at the top of the heap right now with this group. So because she's involved with Roxy, because she's has been involved with, it'd be crazy. I mean, I could see Cora losing, but it would have to be Cora losing due to distraction for Soul to get this win.
Fair enough. And I mean, could Cora cause a distraction in the match at deadline? Could you end up seeing Cora say she's not in the like main title picture, but she's out there maybe like towards Fallon Henley or anything like that, North American title?
I don't think the heel that's best friends with the world champion is going to go after Fallon, the heel faction leader.
We get both champs, you know, two woman power trip.
Yeah, I don't think that happens. I could be wrong, but I don't think the heel goes after the heel. Maybe, but maybe not. I feel like people are sick of this weird heel turn for Carmen Petrovich and Adonis. Nobody knows what the fuck's going on with those two, Chris. We don't know what's happening. It's just odd. I have no idea.
There ain't nothing wrong with a little bump and grind.
Her name is Soul Ruka because she's smoking. 100%. You got to love a beach girl, folks.
I'm gonna soak up the sun.
Nikita is very sleepy. I think that's Chew. Why is Nikita sleepy?
Well, don't even get me started on fucking Winnie Chew. But yeah, well, Nikita's out there just playing too thoughty for a body and everything. She's out there, you know, walking the catwalk out there in the NXT parking lot, which is the most dangerous place you could be at all on WWE production, is in the NXT parking lot.
I truly feel like we need a hiring freeze, so we can start pushing some talent that we already have. I disagree with that, Paul. I mean, the same thing as if I was running a sports team. If you have a chance to upgrade your offense, upgrade your defense, you sign who's out there. And if it happens to be somebody like a Giulia that's, you know, ahead of the curve, she's, you know, in a better place than a Soul Ruka, so be it. Soul's got to pick up her socks and get ready. If Nikita gets passed by, she's got to pull up her socks and do what she has to do. So that's my take on that is, I wouldn't like if there's talent out there, sign them.
It's a talent roster, not casting for a school play. It's one of those of Christ. We both played sports and we've talked about this openly, whether it be members only streams, whether it be these streams and everything like that. Of we both come from a sports background, and that's the type of shit that you have of cool. So somebody's there and they're challenging you for your spot or vice versa. Yeah, that's where it's at. That's competitiveness brings the best out of people.
100%. Right? Oh, what is Trivia Pursuit starring NXT talent? Lola, Roxy.
Oh, I just got that. I was 7 News Now, and then we got Trick, Lola, Wes Lee, and Roxanne. I'm gonna go with Roxanne to be the best known about trivia. That her or Wes Lee. Keep it above. Right.
Welcome to the generation
with LeVar Burton.
But hey,
take a note. It's in a book. Reading.
Right.
Sorry,
it's all good, man. Pent up energy. Rest in peace, your puppy. I don't know what you're talking about, Jose. Did you guys see JBL and Conrad's co-host on something to wrestle with while Bruce is taking? a leave of absence. Their first episode together was very good. I did not.
No, so I thought you were talking about the other thing. I had halfway seen of like Conrad saying the status of, you know, Bruce's pod and everything. But again, anytime I see Conrad, I'm just expecting he's trying to sell me like life insurance or like a roof installation or anything. So I'm kind of all set with that.
Cora could cause 2 distractions. You feel me? Yeah, no doubt. As we get a little pre-tape, and we are off and running, folks. Right now, 71% of the chat taking Cora Jade.
Ooh. I'll take Soul.
Deadline is taking place on Pearl Harbor Day this year. Hey, I'm gonna drop some bombs. I'm just kidding. Too soon.
Bombs over bag. That's one of the dopest tracks ever, honestly. Like,
dude, yeah, I'm not gonna get into it, but sloppy.
We can talk about this after.
What's up, Kev? How you doing? NXT stars on Trivia Pursuit. Yes, apparently Trivia Pursuit is now a TV show.
It was so boring as a fucking board game around family gatherings that they decided to make it a TV show because they ran out of ideas. Soul hitting a surfboard, like not even in like I'm gonna grab you surfboard, but like I'm gonna just stand on you like a surfboard.
That's it. The skateboard versus surfboard tonight, Nick.
Tony Hawk.
Pass by.
We can do a whole podcast just on the Tony Hawk games, by the way. Just saying.
I hope LeVar Burton wears his. Yeah, let's go, Gordy. Cora is like the ex you can't get rid of. Facts. She's the one that keys your car and then calls you to tell you she did it. Like, fuck.
No, you triggered a story that I have to say, and I'm waiting. I will wait until a commercial break to say the story related to. I was not part of it. I watched it, but yes, to a story of bitter exes, if we digress. Back elbow from
Soul is extremely talented wrestling crowd. Been a big fan of Soul Ruca. I love the beach vibe. I love the surfer vibe. It feels different than a lot of the other female wrestlers that have come in. She kind of got her own style that seems true to her. And again, she's proven in matches like Kelani, what she's done on TNA recently, that there's a big upside to her.
Oh, 100%. She's super talented, super athletic, especially when it comes to that women's division.
Brother Fluff Salisbury, how you doing? Happy to hear about Dutch being home recovering. Oh,
all right. Well, no, I was just clicking away of who do you think will be on main roster in WWE Draft 2025?
Every show.
Well, then I guess you need to tune in to when we do. I guess we'll do our prospective, draft of NXT talent at some point. But yeah, you have that.
Cora face plants thanks to Soul face plants thanks to Cora.
Right.
Pretty good match from the ladies here. By the way, this is our second women's match of the night. Holy shit, no way! Wow.
And it's still, that's a creative as fuck move. 1, 2, 3. It's a suggestive as shit name. But yeah.
The Soul Snatcher. Yo, I'm shocked. And I mean, 70% of the chat, kudos to them. Like, Cora Jade's been at the top of the billing. This is a big win for Soul.
Well, wow. I think that they have emphasized her as part of, her whole, their whole division and everything. Like, think about it. Now your division's really rounded out pretty fucking well. And it's almost one of those of someone could slide a little here, a little there, and it's still not too bad. Oh, Javon and Cedric. Cedric's wearing New Day meets Enzo Amore.
One clean.
This is Carmen and Dion Lennox. We haven't seen Dion since the breakout tournament thing.
Yeah. Brindley Reed. What is
I'm so glad to say I could survive NXT's roster because I like brunettes versus blondes. I'll say that personally, but just Jesus Christ.
Blondes have more fun, and I have more fun with them. Cora is regretting. Would you all hire a world in shape talent wrestler? If you can bring some to the table.
Like an Old Navy commercial. Sorry.
Go ahead, man.
No, I missed
what you're saying. You just
no, I just said this looks like an Old Navy commercial. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that you were speaking.
Oh, we're back. This one is just going from thing to thing to thing to thing.
Right.
Wasting no time.
So Wes Lee coming out, and this is a Iron Survivor Challenge. So Wes Lee versus Cedric Alexander. As we go to commercial break.
Dun, dun, dun.
And a tease for Deadline. So again, we ain't playing no games. We're going right into it of their hyping up Deadline in Minneapolis, Minnesota, Saturday, December. I didn't catch the date in December, but tickets are on sale tomorrow. # we don't have a code for that.
Right. Now we're going to get that poll. No. I would be finished at NXT. And there you go. I'm with you, MDB. That makes sense. What does Chair Relax say? Stop the CW. What? I don't know what that means. Brock returns to Deadline. Brock Lesnar?
Anderson? Let's be well, I'll ask you this. I think you might.
I'll be right back, sir.
Right. No, I was going to say, I'll ask you about this, of the whole idea about a fifth man for the War Games teams of between the OG, Triple OG, Bloodline, and, the Bloodline 2.0. I'm very torn as to who could be. I'm of the mind of, I don't need a fifth man. Just keep it at 4. It worked on the poster. Why you got to add more? Just keep it at 4. But I am in commercial break. I will remind everybody, we are the Wrestling for Life Network. We do this for anything and everything when it comes to pro wrestling. We are a tippy toe, a bee's knees away from 6K 100%. And we're back at it like a jackrabbit, not only for tomorrow with AW Dynamite. Thursday, we got Wing of the Ring episode 2. So we got to see if we can knock KJ off this crown and everything like that. We got to take down King Koopa and all of that. But Wing of the Ring episode 2 on Thursday, Friday Night SmackDown. And still, we're rolling through covering anything and everything when it comes to pro wrestling. So be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, and subscribe. Absolutely. We've got the merch stores. We've got the Discords. We've got anything and everything when your pro wrestling needs. But yes. Daniel Barry Sports. Yeah. What up? Finish the story net. What story? You got to refresh me now at this point, respectfully, as to what story I was starting here. I love the Wing of the Ring. Yeah, well, I'm glad you love it because at times, it's a labor of love. I'll put it that way. Trust me, there was a few sources that are much more aggressive than the others. I'll say that. But I believe, if I can let a spoiler away of, this episode is going to be more about, obviously the fall pay-per-views, the Survivor Series, the what have you, and everything like that. It's going to be more spooky, scary skeletons eating spicy wings. I need some merch. Well, let me see. When I tag with KJ here, and whenever he gets back, I'll drop the merch link. There we go. Speaking of merch, KJ, already producer number one, the best out there. We've got the Wrestling for Life Army. So 100%. If you need to tan hut out there, you need to batten down the hatches. We got the Wrestling for Life Army hoodies out there. It's getting cold out there, so 100%. You need to make sure you're about it. You're warmed up. You're ready for all action and everything like that. But yeah, you can enlist in the Wrestling for Life Army and everything like that, and help us reach 6K, 7K, 8K, 9K, 10K. What? I feel like there needs to be the jump from 6K to we just jump right to 10K. Let's go. Ava Rain. Hey, I got Ava meeting with all the NXT tag teams. All right, when they said this, I thought it was going to be like her in her little office, and she has a meeting with a few. But no, she's meeting with like legit all the tag teams. I don't even know if some of these people's is tag teams. I just watched Jensen walk off. What tag team is he in? I thought Dijak left. Like, what's happening? But I've got Ava shouting out Gallus, Hank and Tank. Let's go, our brethren. So, the family. So it's just the family now. It is the tag team of Half Stack and Vincenzo out there. We got OTM out here out the mud. They didn't even acknowledge out the mud. But yeah, so I feel like we're setting up for an NXT tournament for the tag team title belts here. Naval Rain. The family is attacked. Yeah, it's so interesting we changed the names, but yeah. So, did I miss it? Like, they had an announcement or something of Ava stood up, and then they just, for whatever reason, their visual package just fucking slow motion for me. So, do we have a tournament? What do we have here with the tag team division in NXT? But I'm getting Cedric Alexander coming out right now. So, folks, let me know who you're taking. Whether you're taking Cedric or you're taking Wes Lee here. I knew you'd get it. What? No Limit Soldier. Hoo-doo-hoo. Yeah. This is Cedric wearing from pimp to pastor gear. Nah, he's New Day meets Cat Williams a little bit. He's a little 1032, pimp down, pimp in distress. Sean needs to build the tag team division better. Well, yes and no. Of it's really hard. I know I'm making a fucking scapegoat case here and everything a little bit, but it feels like a bit of a hard case of. So you want me to build all these divisions all at the same time? Like, I know it's easier said than done and everything, and it really, truthfully needs to happen. And I feel like, thankfully, at this point, we're most seeing it happen on the main roster. But yeah, we need to flesh out still the NXT divisions, but still at the same time, it's the line of, is it a third brand? Is it that, or is it developmental still? Because if it's developmental, then Cedric's out here doing the Lord's work. Where is Idris and Blake? Good shout, actually. I entirely forgot about Idris and Ofe and all of that. My vote's for Hank and Tank. Are Hank and Tank the outrunners of NXT? I saw the thing on it. It was Cultaholic, at least, that I'd said it. respectfully, that, you know, W or AW talent had pushed for the Outrunners to win the tag titles. I was like, yeah, and so did the fan base. So you just listen to the fans. Or a dispensary out of the buds. Lady B,
Speaking
if
of
we
buds,
can do that, like
make him
100%.
say, oh.
How you doing, sir? As I've still got Wes Lee and Cedric. Are you there, sir?
Yeah. Oh, all right, we're rolling. What does the chat say?
Right.
83% taking Wes Lee over Cedric. Heavy.
Well, this is the qualifier for the first, well, second, because we had the women's, but first male qualifier for the Iron Survivor Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
One, we thought Wes Lee could have been somebody that went at Trick or anything like that. Like, could have gone at the world title, and now you're Iron Survivor.
Yeah, I don't know if I like. I mean, again, we'll see how the Survivor goes. I just don't buy Wes Lee as like the main champion.
But who would you then challenge at Trick?
It'll be very interesting because again, the men's division is a little bit on the thin side. I mean, if Wes Lee's the best guy to go against them, that you got problems.
Right.
Oh, we got a botch. Cedric hurt himself.
Oh, Cedric, I got that chop.
What?
No, I said I got the chop and I got Cedric to now I got the tope.
He pulled a flop dollar.
Well, it's so funny now to hear him talk about that when everyone's like, I can't believe you hate him. It's like, no, he talks about it.
If KJ buys Wes Lee as a champ, I will not. He'd have to. I mean, again, it would be interesting as world champion Wes Lee. I mean, I don't know.
Right. Well, we're in commercial break here, but yeah, botch, sloppy July. Well, he just under rotated, I feel, and then Paul saying, KJ, did you see Ava's attire? Did you see the tag team summit?
The tag team summit of some sort. Again, it just looks like one of the wrestlers brought their girlfriend to the meeting. I don't get it.
It's one of the bosses brought their daughter to the board meeting.
Right. Dun, dun, dun.
Botch or Bush? What?
I think botch.
That was a botch. That was a botch. That was, well, surely not intentional. That was just under rotation like a motherfucker.
Well, his feet caught the ropes, right? So, I mean, again, it's unfortunate. I hope he's okay. It was not a fun landing by what we witnessed. So,
right.
Botchamania. Oops.
Which we've actually been featured on, by the way. We were too spicy for Botchamania. Charles, what up? Not Flop Dollar. The only guys I see dethroning Trick is Oba Femi. Well, that could be interesting if we get Oba goes after the world title. Yeah, I mean, I'd be in a much better position with Oba over Wes Lee. Right. Well, has Trick walks this thin line, I feel, of has he overstayed his welcome in NXT? Of like, you had so many opportunities now at this point as champion, as top guy, of like, do we need to say bye? Yes and no. I mean, in the sense that I still think he has shit to learn. I still think he hasn't found his groove. I still think that there's more that he's got to dial in before you bring him up. So yeah, I don't know how fast we're gonna move on Trick unless he's somebody's right-hand man kind of thing. Yeah, and it doesn't feel like he's not a guy who can move to that. Like Carmelo moved and he wasn't a sidekick or anything. Like he was still Carmelo. He may not be top tier, super duper and Carmelo and everything like that. But Trick, like if he moved up to the main roster right now, if he's not the sidekick, he ain't Trick.
Well, I think he's just lost in the shuffle a little bit. I mean, I still think like we've seen it. I mean, again, his matches have struggled to get over.
Yeah, and at this point, it's been beyond just one opponent, two opponents. Like now, it's been a few. So now it's very much of maybe it's just kind of you, dog.
Yeah, no, it's got to be. It's got to be kind of figured out at some point. As we are back to the action, folks. Nick taking a pause for the cause. KJ Nick, if we don't see Oba for a few weeks, he's the fifth guy. John, I don't think so. To me, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I can't see it. Adam Cole versus Takeshita tomorrow. Nick's gone. I don't get it. I don't like it. How does Cole go over to Takeshita? There was other members of Callis's family that could be used instead of Takeshita. The only way this match will work is if it's a fuck finish, right? Like, does anyone think that Adam Cole should beat Takeshita? They're not getting ready fast enough. Charles, context is king on that one. I would have Hank and Tank dethrone Batman and Robin. Hank and Tank's on fire. They got a good thing going. Fraxium has really brought some credibility to the tag titles. So I give them some credit, but eventually there's going to lose those belts. But to who? Hank and Tank's a good show. Trick goes to the main roster. He'll be released in a year. Paul, I'm kind of with you. Like, I think you lose him in the shuffle. You see Roddy is facing Archer in a Falls Count Anywhere match tomorrow. Robert, I saw this. And I know we got Cedric and Wes Lee. I'll give you my quick rundown. If Roderick and Cole are competing, whoever wins the most matches or gets the 3 first, I don't know, gets to fight MJF. It doesn't make sense that Cole fights Takeshita in a one-on-one match, straight up match. And then Roddy has to fight in a Falls Count Anywhere match against Archer. How does that make sense? How is that fair to Roddy? And how does this play out? I don't love, Callis's family with the new composition, with the new people in it, could be all right. But we literally have like 4 or 5 heel factions. We need some people to go babyface in this company. But I don't get how this plays out. As we are getting a "This is awesome" chant for Cedric and Wes Lee. Trick needs more reps matches. I agree with you, sir. To his credit, his hype outran him. His hype got ahead of him. I think we've seen it in ring when it comes to main event matches. Trick hasn't quite got there, and I think he will, but this might be it. Whoa, deep 2. Who's the 5th guy? We got a lot of candidates, and I know some people out there might want to spoil it, but there's a lot of names that have popped up. Again, could it be someone else from the Samoan tribe? Could it be Hikuleo or a Lance or Zilla? Could it be Seth? They talked to Seth. We saw Jay talking to Ray. As Wes Lee on the top. Cedric out of the way. Big clothesline. You think Rage will be in the Iron Survivor Challenge? I wouldn't be opposed to it. I wouldn't be opposed to it, Kyle. Adam Cole could have beat his way out, couldn't beat his way out of a paper bag. Yeah, Takeshita's going to tower over Adam Cole. Takeshita doesn't need this match. Takeshita needs a baby face to push him and chase him. I don't know why we're doing this way. I know MJF called Callis and said, I need a favor. Another 2. The crowd is going crazy for this one, folks. But yeah, it's whoever gets 3 first. So if Cole wins earlier in the night, that would be 3. So the Roddy match would almost have to go first. I don't know how many wins Roddy has. Someone update me. How many wins does Roddy have in this challenge? But it doesn't seem fair that Roddy's got to go to a Falls Count Anywhere. By the way, Wes Lee and Cedric are tearing it up. Having a fifth guy on either side doesn't even make sense. Paul, we talked about this. It makes perfect sense. It's usually 5. 5 is fine. And Wes Lee picks up the W. Hell of a match. Hell of a match, folks. For all the work rate junkies out there, that was a good one. AW changed the Adam Cole stipulation, so now it's a triple threat. If Roddy wins of him, Adam gets MJF. Yeah, I don't understand. Like, why? Again, we saw this. Like, Darby becomes #1 contender, then they take that away. Pac became #1 contender. They bumped him to another pay-per-view. They create this stipulation, and they're like, shit, doesn't work. We got to move it. I think there has to be a little bit of a internal come-to-Jesus moment in AEW of what is going right, what is going wrong. I know a lot of people have talked about Mox lately, but Mox in interviews is saying all the things the fans are saying. AEW has changed. AEW isn't doing what it's supposed to be doing. People are just collecting paychecks. I actually like what Mox is doing. I don't know what it means that Mox is going to seize TBS on Wednesday. We will be here to find out together, folks. I'm curious what that all means. Is like he's taking over the whole Superstation? But right now I got Sean. Done. With Nos Malone talking to Tony D. Crowd super into that, ABJ. Who should go babyface? Fuck. I mean, anybody. Like, who are the baby faces? Right? Like, I mean, Swerve should have been booked and treated like kind of like a Jey Uso. Have everybody on their feet for him. Now he's going up against Hurt Business, but right now people are cheering for the Hurt Business because they're new and shiny. So I don't know. Like, I mean, Adam Cole could have been a babyface. I thought they put the MJF storyline to bed. Now he is kind of a babyface going against Cole, against MJF, but MJF was a babyface. Elite left, they're heels. Then they come back as babyfaces. Kenny needs to come back at some point. They are a lack of it. I mean, Ricochet is an option. Ospreay, I think they are missing an opportunity with Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay, to me, is not being booked nearly enough, nearly to the level that he should be. I think this guy should be your champion, and we should see him all the time on TV. They need to use Will Ospreay to their advantage, and they're not. Ricochet could assist Adam Cole and tell him Ricochet might be busy, though. We don't know. I don't know what the hell's happening with this vignette right now, folks. Shawn Spears wants the North American title, or he wants Nost. I don't know. You guys figure it out. Trick won't get lost in the shuffle. He's got all the tools outside of the ring shit, but you kind of need the ring shit to come with him, right? And again, could he get in there and kind of be like a U.S. title-ish type of guy? Maybe, but I think he's not ready yet. I think give him more time. Shawn Spears has an ominous driver. Who was that? All right. So we get some cinematics here, folks. As here, speaking of the double, Trick Williams is coming up next, folks. What if BL2 gets a fifth guy, but the OGs can't and find a fifth guy solo for us to get rid of? Someone, yeah, I know, pipe down. Yeah, again, I think what they've done well with the fifth guy element is they have a lot of us talking about who it's going to be, who's it going to be. I have an idea who it may be, so we'll see.
It's me. It's DDP. Who do you think is going to be the fifth guy? Yeah, we got the, did you kill his dog? We got the John Vick segment of, NXT tonight here.
Mm-hmm. I mean, again, a lot of names have come up in who could be the fifth guy. I have a feeling it might be, they teased that it could be Seth, as Seth has had conversations with both. Now that would have to tie into next week's episode and see what they do. But I mean, I don't know how well, I don't know how much I love Seth as being the fifth, but does that make Bronson the fifth on the other side, or is it still going to be an Animosity?
That's the only conversation I've heard is I don't know. Theoretically, it's Cody and KO, or it's Seth and Bronson, which I'm almost of the mindset of I don't need a fifth. Like, I don't like the fifth at this point. Like, it just feels like an add-on. It feels like, Cliff Notes type of shit.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of expecting the fifth, so I don't feel like, as long as they tie it into story, the fifth works for me. And I mean, they kind of alluded to it right out of the gate that there was going to be a fifth. Roman said, "Go find a fifth." So yeah, I got no problem with there actually being a fifth guy. I mean, that's generally. I mean, I'm trying to think. Last year had 5, I believe. So I'm okay with it, I think. So yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, I don't have a problem with the fifth guy. The fifth guy just has to make sense.
Which do you take umbrage more with as we're in commercial break here? As I won't say anything, and we don't still know spoilers or anything, but it seems very much like they're setting up for a women's War Games match. How do you feel about it being that War Games match versus like finding a fifth? I guess if I'm going to compare the two, of like which to use the lesser of two evils.
I don't like. I'm very vocal about the women's didn't have a whole lot of story. So now, if they're just going to do like we saw how Raw ended last night, where a bunch of women were in the ring together, and we're like, "This is War Games." I don't love it because now it feels like we're doing the match for the sake of doing the match. It wasn't like. I mean, people are going to argue that there was some well, they have beef with them and that, but you're just slamming people from both shows into a cage.
Could you not do a regular Survivor Series match that way without it being War Games? Like, to me, with it being War Games, has a little bit more gravitas. It has William Regal War Games. It has the Aussie Generals gathered, or Black Sabbath, sorry, Generals gathered in their masses. All of that versus Survivor Series. You could always still have a Survivor Series match of like, there was, what was it, the year that you had Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT and everything, that was Survivor Series. So who's to say you couldn't do something reminiscent to that, or at least go back to just having regular Survivor Series matches? When did Survivor Series become War Games and War Games only?
Well, I mean, again, it's kind of been the thing as far as the traditional Survivor Series matches have kind of fallen by the wayside, gone the way of the dodo bird, as Fatal Influence and Kelani Jordan are having a conversation with Byron Saxton. But I mean, I understand what they're doing, and I wonder if part of it is just feeling the pressure of like, if we don't have a women's war game, will the masses be mad at us? Again, I don't love it this year. Last year, I defended it because there was a story that made sense. Damage control made sense. This year, it feels a little forced. But I do think we're going to get a traditional Survivor Series match between Final Testament and the Wyatt Six.
Really?
Yeah.
You think like that, like spookity is going to be the one that's the actual tried and true Survivor Series elimination match?
I think so. And I mean, I think that, Final Testament did a good job at taking out the Wyatt Six. So it's the first time since the Wyatt Six's return that somebody took them out, and they did it emphatically. So the Wyatt Six actually take an L in the little battle they had last night. So I do think that I could be wrong, but it looks like it's building to some type of
like that's not bad at all. I more of a question. How do you feel where the Wyatt Six stands if that's where they're at?
I'm okay with it because I think it helps. I like the Wyatt Six. I think they need a boost, a pick me up. They need to do something. And the Final Testament has been meh. So this wakes up the Final Testament. The crowd was very much a little bit kind of having the Miz in there kind of added some reaction. So, I mean, again, if this helps wake up the Final Testament, we'll see.
Well, and all due disrespect and everything, I guess, of the, Wyatt Six was mid-card at best.
The Wyatt Six right now, yeah, they're in mid-card position for sure.
Right.
Trick is got the mic.
Right.
Oh, wait a minute. Chase you.
How did you do it, Chase you?
Andre Chase.
I found out and I can't credit the source and call it factual to actual, but Stifler's mom in American Pie was 38, allegedly, when she was Stifler's mom. And that makes me feel old as shit.
Fair enough, right? Yeah, no shit. Yeah, now I see Stifler's mom and she's like pushing 60.
I saw you at the bar last Sunday.
Andre Chase talking to Trick. KJ, do you think Triple H has done a good job with the women's division? Absolutely. Liv Morgan's over his shit. Rhea Ripley's a star. You got Damage Control. Dakota Kai just came back. Bianca and Jade look phenomenal. I think they're doing perfectly fine.
We went from having the fucking stat watchers and stop watchers and everything like that of like, there was only, 5 minutes of women's, wrestling across, all these shows in WWE television to now collectively, it's almost like a 50-50 split.
Mm-hmm. Right. But yeah, no, I think they're doing a phenomenal job. MDB, as far as that goes, LA Knight can go in the ring though, and he's a pro. I think Trick needs some time, just more reps. That's all.
I've heard that you could get, say, Braun Ridge Holland. Cobra Kai's least favorite member coming out right now with Ridge Holland. But I've heard the rumor or the idea that you could get LA Knight, with Team OG Bloodline, and then you get IC champ, Braun Breaker with, new Bloodline that helped him win the title and everything. He won it off of Jay.
They did tease that a little bit, like Jimmy's going up to Braun and saying, "Do you want to talk?" I don't see it, but we'll see. I mean, I don't think so.
The Cody thing, I almost feel like that needs to be its separate thing. Like, Cody doesn't need to play second fiddle again to Roman and all of this.
I think he's busy. I think he's busy with KO and Randy and all that stuff. I don't see it. And again, is KO mad enough at people? Like, is he going to be mad at Sammy and hate Roman enough that he joins the new Bloodline? I don't know. I think they have their own separate thing going.
I don't. That's a thing that's really interesting. Of you get KO and you get Sammy. Of like, you thought he was mad that Cody was okay with Roman. Imagine Sammy being okay with Roman. KO was gonna lose his shit.
Andre wants to fight Ridge again.
Oh, why?
Got that peaches and cream vibe, my guy.
Yeah, well, Trick out here looking like that shoe leather, like that, fruit roll up that stood out the sun a little bit too long. That one, that fruit roll up that has no artificial sugar and everything into it, because he's got like 17 pockets too, by the way. And did he made it, like, are you excited for Ridge versus Andre Chase again? I thought we were going with, Ridge and all of that towards the main event scene with Ethan Page, etc. I thought we were past this.
We go see April. We set it up next week. Ridge Holland.
Yes, I think they're going to get a number one contenders match between. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think we just heard Trick let us know that we're setting up for next week.
Yes, we are definitely setting up a number one contenders match, my guy. Actual.
All right. Are we Bills fans taking the L to KOC? I'm trying to be optimistic. No, they are the boogeyman. They are the oogie boogie to the Buffalo Bills, but no, 100% of we need to stomp on their necks here so that we can do that in, the postseason.
Trick love them kids.
Dominance.
Wait, you can literally hear people in the crowd like chuckling and such. It's so hilarious.
Yeah, well, Ridge is out here looking like he's, the swole bruv from, your local gym of like, you won't bench 100 dumbbells and everything. Like, mate, shut up. Ridge out here looking swole as shit, but you've accomplished fucking all.
And I'll walk straight into Deadline and challenge for the NXT Championship, while you nothing.
Nothing.
Do nothing. I like Ridge heel turn. Well, it's been the Ridge heel turn. That's the thing. It's been more a do-si-do. It's not a straight heel turn. It's gone from I'm retired to I'm unretired to I'm part of Chase U to I'm not part of Chase U to I'm scaring via hell, this, that, and the third.
Yeah, but he's been straight. I mean, again, even going into the bully stuff, I mean, he's at least dug into this direction he's going. So we'll see.
Yeah, finally.
You're on.
Ridge out here looking like he's wearing like the Diamond Mine outfit. Seats. Trick Bottom from Trick Williams. Bookend.
5-on-5 is stupid. It should have never happened. And they need last year's was 5-on-5. Year before was 5-on-5. It's always been 5-on-5, my guy. So this year is going to be 5-on-5. It's the way it is. It's not stupid. It's keeping with the history.
It's the way it's always been. Christ, even just the regular Survivor Series matches, I still do like the idea of a 4-on-4 with this one. Of you had some people with the poster of they set it up as a poster.
The OG Survivor Series was 5-on-5 as well at times. So again, I mean, the being hung up on adding a person, if it fits the story, I don't think it's an issue.
I'm more hung up on who's the person they add as Jada Parker out here with getting the highlight upon highlights, which is very much a do. What?
Yeah, did someone just accuse Trick of wearing a couch? There you go. How's Ridge still a thing? He's doing it. This is better for Ridge, though. And he's going to become the #1 contender. Jada Parker.
No.
Oh. She's putting her claim on that Iron Survivor.
I've got the entrance to Nikita Lyons. Are you there, sir?
I'm getting the entrance to Nikita Lyons.
There we go. How's Ridge still a thing? Hey, he's survived. He's hung on to that ridge through NXT here a little bit.
Well, that's why Ridge went down to NXT, was to find himself, and he's gone through some interesting times, but since his fake retirement, he's kind of just dug into this heel side of himself, which, I mean, I think it's getting better.
He very much he needed to find himself. We talked about it even with Pete Dunne after being Butch and going back to Pete Dunne and everything. Of Ridge especially, he's had that stigma to him of the issues and everything, so he really needed to find himself and establish himself, and I feel like he's at least done that.
Right. Ridge got that dominant heat right now. It might not be that intense, but NXT crowd definitely don't like him.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's anti-Chase U, and Chase U's, the university for you of that's the alma mater of NXT.
Chase U ruined that. Ruined what? Ridge is on a journey, Nick.
He's on a vision quest.
Mr. Quake. Chris, same. It's his personality. I bet Ava and Avril will be great friends. Avril.
He was a boy. She was a girl. Look at how making any more obvious.
Ridge isn't serious. He's pretty damn serious. I mean, again, I don't know what I thought. What he just delivered was fine. I don't love the Chase U stuff. I wish Chase U would.
Do you take him more serious just because of the beard?
Maybe. I think more just on how he's talking.
Fair enough.
There are no men wrestlers left in this division. It's shallow.
Well, in the women's division, yeah, I wouldn't expect too many men's wrestlers, but yeah.
I'd expect Duke back next week. I think Duke will play a hand in the finish, and I'm still expecting Duke to side with Ridge.
Yeah, I think that's where we probably end up. Like, who do you see more likely as a world champion in NXT? Duke Hudson or Ridge Holland?
Doing what?
As a world champion in NXT.
Either.
I'll say Duke.
I like Duke. Okay, you answered your own question.
Well, no, I asked you a question, and
then you answered it. Yeah, I mean, either guy, if built up right, neither one has really been built well. One's been stuck in Chase U. The other one's done a fucking, stint in Chase U. Ridge is a little more, further along in the build, but either guy, I like Duke a lot. He's a big guy.
Well, and those two, even as a tag team, like if you had those two as a tag team and moved them towards the main roster, because especially we've talked about it, tag team wrestling and wrestling as a whole has kind of sucked lately.
Right. Moana 2.
Well, and so I'll ask you this as we're in commercial break of some people have thought about Dwayne, the final boss, showing up in War Games. And a lot of people quickly said no, he's got terrible movies like, Red 1 and Moana 2 and everything to promote. So he's not going to be out there and sacrificing himself in a War Games match.
I don't see him in the War Games match. I do see him showing up after War Games or having a play in how the War Games finishes. But I don't see him in the War Games, no. And maybe that's part of it. Maybe just at his age, he doesn't want to go through it. I don't know how good it would be if he was in it. So, yeah, I don't see him in the War Games at all.
Fair enough.
Wes Lee is champion. No.
Out of the other two, I feel like he might be the strongest. As I've got Jensen with who is this guy? Oh,
Shane Clark.
Why do I feel like that's fucking Yoshitatsu?
Is that
I feel like his translator's Yoshitatsu, and they just don't want to say it's Yoshitatsu.
Is it not? Is that Amura? Am I crazy making that up?
No. Make way. The people of Matanu.
Here comes. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. So I've got Rizzo coming out here. So are we at the main event of Rizzo and Nikita?
No, we're 45 minutes away from the main event. We're 45 minutes away from the end, unless they're giving Rizzo and Nikita 45 minutes strong. Eddie might be in the Iron Survivor. Eddie's been hot and cold.
Oh, beat up.
I could see Jordan Grace in the Iron Survivor qualifier for sure. I could see it.
If at that point, like, is she not official like a referee whistle WWE at that point though?
Nah,
at that point, like, can we just all admit that she's just WWE?
Well, I mean, everybody sees the writing on the wall, Nick. I don't think it's again, I don't know.
Well, I know, but to be so blatant.
Yeah. As we are off and running, folks. 81% taking Nikita in this one. Good bet on that. But I don't know. She could get upset here.
As Rizzo just kind of jumping Nikita there right now.
Absolutely. Sonny Bimbo. This is adorable. So I'll just leave that hang. I'm not going to read it all, but that's cute. That Japanese wrestler was the new wrestler from the ID program. Yeah. What was his name?
Joe Cappuccino.
We got Ice Williams, I think. I
I feel like we need to do something like WWE ID or Mortal Kombat character. Jack Cartwheel out here of, about to hit, get over here.
Marcus Mathers is another one.
Oh, yeah, because I'm just Marcus Mathers. I'm just a wrestler guy. I don't know why all the fuss about me. Nikita right now in control of Adriana Rizzo. Do you expect Nikita to be a babyface or a heel? Because she's kind of tiptoeing the lines of both. Of like, which way are you leaning, sister?
They started leaning her heel a couple weeks ago when she attacked Rizzo in the back.
Fair enough.
Match is not good. Just started. Been okay. Not much has happened.
Yeah, but I feel like we're a couple minutes in here and we're just getting ragdolls of. That's the thing. It's a little bit one of those of when you've been in it for a little minute and nothing's really happened. That's not always a good sign.
Yeah, no. I mean, right now we just have Nikita kind of wearing her out with the full Nelson.
But you have Adriana, who's definitely green out there with Nikita, who, whether it be through injuries, what have you, still feels green with all of this.
I think it's a good for both of them. I mean, again, Nikita's got to kind of she never really did establish anything. She's had one-offs here and there. That was weird. Have no idea what the fuck that spot was.
The best we saw Lyons was Zoe Starks, I feel.
Yeah. Oh. We got a press, and she's throwing bombs.
Lou says.
But yeah, I mean, and Rizzo hasn't wrestled nearly at all. So, I mean, they got to start somewhere. So this would be your green portion of the program.
Level Up works just as well.
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't put. I mean, Rizzo's been a mainstay on the show. Oh, another press.
Nah, you can't do that. Of like, no, I'd rather I'll advertise you to people tune in to Level Up. Then I'm gonna let haberdashery and happenstance fucking happen on my main roster show.
Yeah, but again, I mean, there's still
down, way down.
Oh, big splash. In what was a sloppy jalopy of a match, Nikita gets the win with her new finisher.
That's for I'd rather this closes out a Level Up than this is last half hour, last 45.
Yeah, I don't know. It's still the development side of this program. Like, we do get some stuff thrown in here that is not of the utmost, like the highest of levels. Nikita's past the Level Up. I mean, again, Rizzo. Wow, Rizzo taking her out with a crowbar.
What? I thought it was the magician stick at first. I'm like, Avada
Nico Vance was the driver. Thank you, Damien. That's interesting.
Now I'd like to know who Nico Vance is.
Oh, there's Duke. There's Duke. Yeah, see, Duke's about to turn. Skylar Clinton.
Nobody else would give him a chance, and he became the MVP. For a young lady who became a grown-ass woman.
Fia Hale and Boy Toy there. They look like, the couple that's going to your favorite, Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. And I'm not
going to let anyone or anything break us up.
Interesting.
As far as me personally.
As everyone's giving him the side eye as he says that.
It's about time, MDB.
And Chase U is going to be riding the highest of highs. Trust me.
or the lowest of lows.
He's gambling with our future again. Your boy is.
As here comes Javon Evans.
Yeah.
I mean, the pace of this show has been crazy.
Right.
I don't even know what he's doing. What is he doing tonight?
He did here.
Yeah. It's a qualifier for the Iron Survivor.
Did we already had Cedric's match, right?
Yes, we did.
Fair enough. So we're just adding things upon things at this point. Oh, he's taking on Lexis King.
Lexis, I need a win king. That's an interesting matchup. All
right.
right.
Well, speaking of kings and wings, but we do have the Wing of the Ring coming up this Thursday as well.
Yes, we do.
You will be retaining or trying to retain
You
your wing crown, your chain.
Yeah, I don't see that crown going anywhere anytime soon. I might eat a couple wings just to be nice again, but I'm looking forward to this. It should be a good time.
Yeah.
But we are back at it tomorrow, folks, for Dynamite. Gonna be a crazy one. Mox seizes the Superstation. I don't know what it means, but we're gonna find out. I have no idea what it means, but we got lots going on. Penelope Ford, Britt Baker returns to take on Penelope. Not really sure about that. Lance Archer in a Falls Count Anywhere match with Roddy. Adam Cole's going to take on Takeshita, which I hate. And the Hurt Business will be back. Leo Rush going to take on Swerve. No. Who's Leo Rush fighting?
Oh, you're going to ask me this right now? I was about there to sit there and make the comment about how Tony Khan's out there like, I hate that fucking song.
Right. Dun, dun, dun. So it should be a very interesting Dynamite, folks. We're looking forward to TK trying to right the ship a little as they've had some struggles. If we're being 100% honest, it has not been a good time. And like I said, Moxie's cutting promos and interviews that sound phenomenal. Sounds like a lot of what the fans are saying out loud. Leo's taking on.
And there's been the out there story, I guess, or at least I've seen it recently, to where he's pretty much got full creative control with everything that he's doing with that. Of pretty much, well, fucking Christ with Meltzer and all of that. We can go a whole mile with that. But yeah, very much Moxley's, he's allowed to do what he wants to do when it comes to the Death Rider storyline. He's got full creative control, brother.
Yeah, and again, it feels that way. It feels like he's doing what he wants, but I think that's the case with Jericho. I think that's the case with the Young Bucks. I think that's the case with a lot of the talent, much to maybe the detriment. I don't know.
Well, speaking of detriment, and we've talked about at least this fan page, this source of wrestling criteria and everything. AJ of the Costco guys, aka Big Boom AJ, is currently the best wrestler in the history of pro wrestling, according to Cage Match.
Yep. And it shows you why.
Let that sink in, folks. Let that sink in as 2024 of where the fuck we are at and how far away we constantly shine away from God's light type of shit. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, that's why Cage. I know people use the TK often brings up Cage Match and their fucking ratings as far as, oh well, people on Cage Match like our show. Yeah, it doesn't mean shit because it's you and your friends making the votes. It's fucking stupid. So it's a waste of time, and that proves it.
Well, it's to sit there and hold this like the beacon. It's the Meltzer of ratings type of shit of just when you have such a fan sway into everything. Oh, it's just ridiculous. And yeah, so many of the comments mention his capacity to bring the boom, with one such example reading 10 out of 10 wrestler. He brings the boom every time he wrestles, and I will give him 10 booms Boom, 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 boom. Pause for the cause. But yes, so he has a current rating of 9.81. So this is out there with like Meltzer with 7 stars type of shit of just what the fuck is wrestling.
Oh, it's silly. It's just silly. As we're getting a Zaria package.
Zaria, Sultan.
I like this. She planning to be in that. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say of even her getting the pin at the last show and everything. It was a huge moment.
Yeah, she'll be in the Iron Survivor for sure.
There will be no more mystery to who is Zaria.
Is Zaria healer face? She started off on the baby face team. I don't know if she sticks it out. We'll see how this progresses.
Ambiguous.
Right. Ryan, no need to be sorry. We appreciate you, and we appreciate you being here, sir. I have missed a little bit.
Right.
You did miss. So here comes Lexis King. No William Regal. He's trying to be a babyface now. He's got to change his face.
You know how you be a babyface? Change your face. Just all of this, just redo this.
71% saying Javon right now. I mean, this match seems kind of like what you said with Sol Ruca. I mean, Javon feels a little tailor-made for this.
At least to be in the match. Like we've seen it when it comes to your Money in the Banks, what have you, any stipulation match. You have your person that's going to be your high spot moment of the night. Like I'm waiting for Sol Ruca to hit a soul snatcher off of a fucking cage, and that's going to be your high moment of the night.
Could be.
Literally and figuratively.
We're off and running. I think they're praising Booker T for his teaching skills. Or with William Regal, maybe. Yeah. Javon with AR Fox and Darko Anthony as a faction. Well, I mean, that's a reach.
It's a thing. It's a thing that I don't think is likely to happen, but yeah.
KJ Nick say, boom, remind me of Omarion Bump Bump. Wait, what?
B2K, and you need to watch something else. If you're going to watch QT Marshall versus, the Costco double chip chocolate chunk motherfucker. Like, that's where wrestling's at in 2024. And why the fuck are we like commentating, some promotion at this point? If, Costco guy can get booked on AEW Grand Slam.
Yeah, I mean that's where AEW is in 2024, not wrestling. Wrestling's in a good place.
Yeah.
Wrestling's had a boom, but this is the problem with AEW is they're lost in the internet abyss. Like, it's not good. It's not helping them.
So you're saying AEW got boomed even though they tried to went for the boom?
Yeah, I mean
they got kaboomed.
Nobody wants to see it. It doesn't help your pay-per-view. Don't have 13 matches, including a shit match nobody gives a fuck about. Have 9 solid matches.
Like, how are you trying to sell people on Grand Slam and your main event is Moxley versus Orange Cassidy and your 0 hour, the only match right now of that, it is double chip chocolate chunk versus QT Marshall? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's something they have to figure out. They keep talking about how much talent they have, yet we don't see it. I don't like King, but I think it would be more interesting with him winning this than Javon. He needs to go on a run. He needs to win some stuff. He's been losing a lot. Now I guess he's telling the crowd to not cheer.
I can't cheer for him or get behind him, though, with his creative player fucking facial hair.
Right.
Like, as we go to commercial break here, but yeah, you got to do a lot of work. Even if you're going to sit there and put him Regal with him, you got to do a lot of work to really pull that shit around. I feel
Mhm.
like he's not heel, he's not face, he just exists.
Yeah, no, he's lost in the abyss. We talked about Ridge earlier. I mean, again,
Right.
that's just kind of what we get with NXT at times. I hope he figures it out. I mean, again, I think he's got some work to do, but he needs something. He needs some type of momentum and something behind him. Whether he's a convincing heel or a strong baby face, I don't know, but he needs something. It's hard to be a baby face with that facial hair.
Yeah.
Javon is meh. He's bouncy. I mean, again, Javon's brand new, but man, is he athletic.
Well, 100% with that, and I think he provides, at least especially when it comes to developmental, like he's a guy that you're not, to me at least, expecting by 2026 he's going to be on the main roster. Like that would be at best, I would say. He's a little Bronny James-ish of one of those of, I expect that this shit's going to kind of develop a little bit and everything. Like, I expect you're going to be down there for a good minute and everything like that. And I feel like he's going to really hit his stride in NXT.
Okay. Absolutely. Damien. Yeah, okay. I said it slightly wrong, but I kind of got it right. Noah showed up. Yes, there you go. So that. And we also saw the other gentleman. So we're starting to see new faces popping up in NXT now. Maybe they're starting to fluff this men's division a little bit.
Fair enough. I missed it. I digress.
I can't wait. The leader of the Hopium tribe is excited for Yoshiki Anumari.
Damon, did you know that man's name before that comment beforehand? Or not? Because I feel like you probably didn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, again, I saw him as part of the ID program. That's kind of how I threw it out there. But again, like, I mean, we didn't expect the other. Now his name disappears out of my head. The easier name to say. But now Sean Spears has a new sidekick or protege, so that'll be interesting.
Just say Jakara will. He's the easiest name to say out of WWE ID.
Fair enough. What would allow King to do well is going full heel and going with Pillman Jr. His gimmick can be wrapped around how he has tapped into his bloodline in order to succeed and just be nuts. I thought that's what they were going to do in the beginning, Boston. I would have been great with that. And again, if you're going to go full heel and go on a run of wins, he's been 250-50 for me.
Does Regal, if he's going to go, you're going to go the way he's with Regal, pull that out of him? And I still think, Pillman was neither face nor heel. Pillman was the definition of gray, so where he could really go either way with it. But I think he needs one way or another, at least a spark with that. Like you said, you thought he was going to go with that when he showed up in NXT, and then he's like, no, I'll go with, who raised me type of shit. Yeah.
WWE needs more young people. We're watching a 20-year-old in the ring right now. Pillman's 26? I mean, again, I think they're fine when it comes to age. And I actually think that AEW now, if you look at AEW's average age, they're much older than the WWE. So, yeah.
I'm literally getting older. I need more Pepto-Bismol while I fucking watch NXT at this point.
Well, you watch NXT?
Right. I'm saying I'm getting older because they're all younger.
I was giving you an upset tummy.
Well, nausea, heartburn, upset stomach, indigestion, diarrhea.
Two. Tweener. Yeah, not really good. I don't want any. He's not a tweener. And I mean, again, Austin, I know people like to say Austin was a tweener, but you got to remember, Austin was one of the biggest baby faces ever. Right? Again, I think the modern fans have kind of got it twisted, and that's where guys like Meltzer or baby faces and heels don't really exist. They do. Right? You got to remember, who was Austin's biggest opponent? The heel Vince McMahon. Yes.
It's a lot. It's a lot to me of a lot of people trying to recreate Michael Jordan type of shit and everything like that. Of like, you can't redo that. Like, win, lose, or draw, whether you love Jordan, whether you hated him or anything like that, like Austin was one of one. You can't recreate that. You can't put lightning back in a bottle. Sorry.
Yeah, and again, it's not being walking the edge, but everyone forgets who his biggest rivals were. They were heels. He wasn't I get it that he was the reluctant hero and he didn't follow the rules, but this idea that he was in between good guy and bad guy, he was one of the biggest baby faces in the history of baby faces.
Yeah, but he also went against like top guys. He went against top guys. He went against the whole fucking company to an extent. Like that shit don't exist anymore.
2-2-2. Big frog splash from Javon.
Right. Backstabber.
Yeah, he was the anti-hero. Perfect, MDB. This idea, that's what got AEW all fucked up, is everybody's a tweener. And now we have no good guys. We just have a bunch of tweeners, and the fans don't cheer. That's why the crowds are so quiet. You need fans to be able to cheer for something. They have nothing to cheer for. It's like going to a game between two visiting teams. You don't really have a horse in the fight. Yeah.
It's the Washington Wizards. You got fucking, Michael Jordan at the tail end of his fucking heyday, and you thought you still had MJ with the Bulls and everything like that. Like, no. You can't capture lightning in a bottle type of shit like that. Austin was the one of one could walk both lines at the same time.
As Javon gets the win, the corkscrew splash. I don't know what he calls it.
Yeah, pop up corkscrew. 1, 2, 3. How you be?
Yeah, people need to go back. I agree with you, Boston and NMDB. I mean, they got to go back and watch. I mean, the crowd went ballistic cheering. He wasn't in between shit. He was a baby face. He was just a badass baby face. Oh, now they're hugging it out.
Do you feel like that's a thing we've seen a lot lately in WWE of like, I'm a hug you out even though I hate you. Praise him and axiom.
I mean, like that's somewhere down the line, but hey, I figured right now would be as good a time as any to tell you.
We have the fucking white Power Ranger and a guy who looks like he's on his kayaking trip.
What?
Wait.
What?
So Nathan
say what on the TV? Say what?
What is wrong with you?
The White Ranger is
right.
Yeah, Nathan's a little bit selfish. OTM here. So yeah, for the family here now. Holy shit. Nathan Frazier has put himself in a Iron Survivor qualifier. Next week.
Challenge qualifiers continue. Who will join the field? Head to Minneapolis on Saturday, December 7th.
Men's and women's Iron Survivor Challenge qualifying matches continue.
Andre Bridge
for the number one contender match for the NXT Championship. It's got to be Ridge, right?
Yeah, I think it could be Ridge. It makes more sense. And I think Duke's going to have a part in it. I've been calling for it. I'm hoping for it. I want Chase U to die. Bye, Chase. Oh, Kelani.
So we're main eventing with Kelani Jordan versus Fallon Henley.
Yes, we are.
For the NXT Women's North American Championship. And save a horse, ride a cowgirl.
Right. Because Godspeed.
Oh, I'm going to take my heart to the old town road. I'm going to ride. As we're getting an advertisement replay hype up for a Survivor Series, folks. So 100%. I'm already out here, got the goose pimples going and everything for generals gathered in their masses. Mm-hmm.
All right, folks, get your votes in. Who you taking in the main event tonight for the North American title? Can Kelani get her belt back? Yeah, I agree. There's been a lot of hugging Vance.
Still need help?
Well, Christ, that's what sat there and had people thinking that, you know, Malachi Black was leaving AEW because he sat there and hugged it out with Adam Cole.
Well, and then the promo after really made it seem like goodbye. Maybe it's the last time they're ever going to wrestle each other. I don't fucking know.
Right, but then how weird is it, though, that you run a wrestling promotion and your wrestler has to sit there and cut a whole promo on his own profile of like, I'm not fucking going anywhere. I'm not retiring. I'm not leaving. Like, how sad does that sound?
Right? The demon child. You guys are ridiculous. The chat, keep it coming, folks. Keep it going, and keep the chat moving as we are in the main event in a moment. Get your votes in and keep the chat alive. Don't forget, we are back tomorrow for Dynamite. Looking forward to that one. Should be a fun one. And again, we got Kelani taking on Fallon in the main event.
Right.
87% taking Fallon. I agree.
Well, it's a retention at this point. I mean, for fuck's sake, like, I don't think if you've already put the title on, you're going to turn around and drop it that fast.
Right?
Wow. I made it.
Yeah, I don't see that.
It's her first title defense.
Mm-hmm.
Just 2 days before I was to skate in Vancouver, my mom passed away.
And I think we're getting closer and ever so closer to, you know, say a softcore country reunion, what have you, of you got Fallon, Henley, and Mickey James and all of that.
What makes you think we're getting closer to that? What indication?
We still have a deal with TNA because it's lasted.
Mickey's not in TNA. Mickey's not a member of TNA.
Even better, she's a free agent. We inside her.
Right? Yeah, I mean, that would be cool.
Nick Aldis, 100%. Nick Aldis.
I suspect there will be shenanigans. I'd expect that too, buddy. Especially with two members of Fatal Attraction on the outside. Fatal Influence. I like.
Could you see a Mandy Rose return to kind of go at Fatal Influence and your low budget Fatal Attraction?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think the idea that Mandy's coming back to NXT, no, because I think that's why they did what they did.
You think they just fully unleash that on Monday Night Raw?
Yeah, maybe if they ever do it. I don't know if they do it, though. I'm not sure. We'll see. It'd be very interesting. I mean, certain people out there, I don't know. I mean, again, they're very... We'll see. Mandy needs to join Shazanya. That's what they need. I'm with you, MDB. That help.
You're a little sausage in that Shazanya.
I'm with you, Boston. I'm definitely with you on this one.
Good to know. As I'm getting an advertisement for football Saturday between Syracuse and Cal this week at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, see, the interesting part with this, Richard, is Zarya is going to probably be in the Iron Survivors. We're in the back in the locker room again.
Well, if you add all of these women in the Iron Survivor, like, who wins?
Oh, Lexis pissed off.
Yeah.
We going to get Willie? Oh, Hank and Tank.
Oh, Hank and Tank. You can't hate on Hank and Tank.
Dante Chen.
The fucking Jackie Chen of NXT. Dante Chen.
They are what, like, there's just tag teams all over the fucking place tonight.
Welcome to NXT. We're either going to emphasize this of the women's division or the tag team division. We can't do all. We can pick one division, and we will emphasize on all of them.
Right, but here comes Kelani.
Oh, you gotta lose, sweetheart. Oh, we only got what we got 14 minutes before the end of the show. So 10 minutes. 10 minutes before Fallon's losing to Kelani. Come highway or hell here. Fallon's retaining this easily.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it would be easy. I think they're gonna have a nice little battle here, and it should be a good match. But Fallon, I don't see losing after just winning it. Be interesting. Well, I do expect shenanigans. We might not even get an actual clean win at all.
I mean, we're roughly about 10 minutes. What is Fatal Influences theme song?
You want me to name it?
No, I wasn't expecting you to name it. It's kind of a little bit like all the things said, all the things said.
Close.
Jasmine, fucking, she's just gonna sell all the calendars. If NXT ever needs to go into the calendar business, she's
they already did that.
Cherry pie. Have Jasmine Inks on the cover of all that shit.
Chase, you already did that, bro.
No,
Chase, you sold it all.
University. I don't need Thin Mints. I don't need Samoas. I don't need none of that.
Huh?
One fall.
Championship.
Yes, we all know that now.
Kelani Jordan. All right, folks, get those votes in as 80% are taking Fallon, which makes sense. Kelani is outnumbered and I just recently lost that belt.
Right. Polka Hot Ass is definitely retaining out here. Can you paint with all the colors of the wind?
You can tell that she's grown up. She's mature. She understands now why I'm here.
That's interesting. Booker really selling the Kelani side of things. Good job by Booker.
We heard that.
And as we mentioned, Jordan looking to reclaim the title. She lost at Halloween.
NXT has a lot of Floridians. Yeah, well, when NXT happens to reside in Florida, you're going to have a lot of people that are going to reside in Florida because that's where they're employed.
She's got to do it all by herself.
Jordan said she was right when she stated it. She needs to prepare for.
Should we just let them do commentary?
It was JC and Nick who were eliminated, by the way.
How long do you want the I'm trying to. What is that in answer to? Anyway, Fallon for the win. 316. You're nuts. They literally push women's wrestling. They don't stop pushing women's wrestling. No, but I don't understand. I didn't see the comments, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, anybody saying that they're not pushing the women's division or roster are not watching the wrestling, at least not with normal eyewear.
Anyone want to really remember a men's match from tonight, or do we all just really remember the women's matches tonight? Let's be honest. And this was just within 24 hours. Let's be honest here. Like we're main eventing with a women's match, and we want to sit there and split hairs as to they don't know.
Roxanne, and she's already got a belt, Mr. Quake.
Right. Fallon with a whip and a claw. Ooh. Head scissors takeover from Kelani. Drop kick. Respectfully, the women's division has been carrying NXT of late. Has it been carrying, or has it just been presented that well? Like that's the fine line. That's the difference.
It's been carrying the show. I mean, we just talked about it. Who's Trick's
But
big
to me,
opponent?
carrying implies a
Carrying,
certain.
when you have the majority of the matches, you have more of the interest. People care about Giulia, Zarya, fucking Stephanie, the Fatal Influence, where we were having 10 women tag matches, and Trick versus Ridge. Carrying. Carrying.
Fair.
As we get a commercial break late. Yeah, I can see that being the thing, John, for sure. Evolution 2.
Right.
New woman's belt should go to Bailey Chair. I like that shout. I don't think it will. But I mean, as homage to a vet, but I think Naomi's gonna get it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was interesting that they've only done the US title. I feel like we're still halfway waiting for like the women's IC belt. I almost wonder if the US belt's the precursor for the IC belt, what have you. But so is Naomi your front runner to win the first, to be the inaugural US title holder?
I think so.
Fair enough. Asuka?
Yeah, we'd have to get her over to SmackDown.
Charlotte Flair?
Yeah, I don't see Charlotte Flair doing that out of the gate. I still think when she comes back, it's Queen versus Princess. I mean, her with the US title, I don't love, because I'd rather it go to somebody like a Naomi that kind of could use some love.
Kyrie Sane, Tiffany Stratton.
Kyrie on the other show. Tiffany is going to go after the world title.
Fair enough. It shows you, though, that we can either side throw out half a dozen names and still make a case, yay or nay, with it. That's how deep that women's division is.
Oh, it's deep. I mean, they got tons of women. And then now we're talking about Lash and Jackson moving up to the main roster. I mean, there's not a lack of options. And that's why I think they're still going to we're going to see a lot of development happen and a lot of time spent in NXT before rushing anything. But I mean, at the end of the day, there's nobody booking women's wrestling like the WWE. Nobody even close second right now.
Right. Tamina Snuka, your new U.S. Women's Champion.
Right. Mia Yim. I like that pick. That's a solid pick, Damien.
I've very much heard that kind of discussed.
Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
Chelsea's a good one too.
Chelsea Green. Have you heard that they've written Samantha Irvine's voice pretty much into her intro? Like, we won't get you on the back end, but we'll get you on the front end, motherfucker.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're trying to at least try and stay a little true to that form. We'll see, though. U.S. belt, does it travel? Now, there was rumors that the U.S. belt would be a traveling belt. It would go from show to show, kind of like the women's tag belts. I don't know if that's the long-term plan. Again, I only read rumors about that chair, so I don't know. I don't love that idea.
I'm waiting for the U.S. for the women's IC belt. And China's just going to fucking be turning over and just saying, it should have been me.
Right. I want Naomi as U.S. champion. Quake, I'm kind of there. My picks are Naomi and Chelsea. I like it. That'd be a nice U.S. title feud to start it off, Anthony. Oh, we got a fight in the back.
Fight in the back.
Tag teams. So
back
now the
women check in the record. Let's be. Yeah, I'm halfway trying to figure out who's fighting who back there.
Right, just chaos. What woman sells the most merch in WWE and NXT? Rhea Ripley. Yeah, if I was guessing.
1, 2. JC James is on a bad shout though for U.S. title. Just on an outlier type of fucking something different. Oh, Fallon Henley just 1, 2 down, but no, it shows that they've very much got a super deep women's division of, think about it, Charlotte Flair's a valid contention name that you could mention for the first ever women's US title holder and everything. You could get, say, a Becky Lynch decides, I don't want to write books and be a parent anymore. And she's your new, WWE Women's US Champion.
Mm-hmm.
Bianca Belair, Jade, etc.
Oh, Spanish Fly. Beautiful. 2. Wow. I think they introduced the women's intercontinental title when they go to Netflix in January. It's possible. I think there's going to be a gap between one and the other. So I agree with you, Antonio. I don't know if they wait that long, but they're definitely going to let the U.S. title breathe.
That's when they go to the 3 hours again.
2. That's the rumor. 2.
I'll buy Raw as 3 hours. I don't want SmackDown as 3 hours. Just don't do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, everyone's reporting. And again, at this point, it feels so credible in the sense of it's been reported by so many that
yeah, it's still one of those I'll believe it when I see it. I mean, some of these people, it just becomes monkey see, monkey do of, well, they reported it, so I got to report it type of shit.
Yeah, not in the case of this one, because it's coming from like some of like the credible actual news sources, like entertainment sources, not just the wrestling dirt sheets.
1, 2.
Oh, outside interference. Faymaster.
2, 3. So Fallon Henley retains as your NXT Women's North American Champion.
With help from the outside.
Well, from Daisy and Duke. Shit, that's where he needs to be out here. It fits too much into the pun.
Split leg moonsault. Well, I thought a good main event. Again, Fallon sneaks it out thanks to the help from her crew.
I'm surprised that, respectfully, I feel like they booked NXT backwards to an extent of like what they had started off the show as your main event could have really main evented the show, and like this could have started it. I'm not complaining either way. I'm more of just saying of if it were my choice, it would be reverse order.
Yeah, no, I think title match went in the last spot. I think highlighting the North American title. I'm okay with it. I thought they had a good match, but here comes the family. Now we got a brawl at ringside, so tag team war continues.
What type of stipulation are they about to add for the tag team division? Because at this point, is it a battle royal? No, I feel like you're going to add something else extra to it. Like we're emphasizing the tag team division throughout this whole show. And even as we're sitting up towards deadline, and like you've got to outdo the Iron Survivor shit. So
Hank and Tank going to war. Brawling everywhere, folks. We got chaos. Refs everywhere.
The tag team division. As this is how we're sending it off of NXT tonight. Just everybody throwing hands, everybody throwing bows, everybody throwing shots.
Right.
All hell has broken loose, folks, and we don't know how to control it.
Big brawl. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've gone off the air. That is NXT tonight. Get your ratings out of 10 in, and we will read how you felt about the show tonight before we pack it in and call it a night. So get in the chat. Let us know how you feel. What would you score this one out of 10?
Right.
Eric Tate going 8. Damian going 8. Fallon did get the win. NXT, and yes, it did. I mean, again, one thing at a time. Women's division's cooking. Now let's turn up the tag team division. Let's go. So it seems like there's a method to the madness.
A little bit.
7 out of 10 from Richard. I'm hyped. Where's Jim Ross? Let's go.
By God, got good out of money. As God is my witness, the tag team division is broken in half.
8 out of 10 from Damian. 7.5, 8.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 6. 8, 8.5. All right. 7 got me 7 out of 10 flip flops. 6.5. No Trish, so we get a 0 from C Money. All those ladies, you can pick one for a point. Come on now, bro.
Even Carmen, she's at least kind of Canadian or anything like that. You couldn't pick the one.
Right. Capone going 8.5. Tonight was an interesting one. I thought the pace never stopped. I thought the matches were solid across the board. They got a lot of matches in tonight. I don't know if 8 goes for me though. 7.
That's where I'm at. Is a 7.
8.5. I'm going to give TK credit for tomorrow night's Dynamite. He stacked the show. There is a shit ton happening on tomorrow night's Dynamite.
What in the Dave Meltzer was that statement?
Well, I mean, the show.
I'm going to give him pre-credit.
Yep, I guess so. 6 out of 10. 9 out of 10. We could have a match announcement from Aveva next week, maybe. Giulia is the future. Mr. Quake, you're not wrong. Giulia, Stephanie, Zarya. There is a plethora. We just saw Kelani. She's young. Fallon's still young. JC, we haven't even seen much from Jasmine yet. Holy shit, they got lots. Good show, 7 out of 10. Yeah, 7 seems fair. Denisha going 8. I like it. Bum. But yes, Damian, tomorrow night's Dynamite it's stacked. There is so much booked for tomorrow night. Match after match after match after match. There is a lot. NXT 3.5. Come on, Quake, you can do better than that. 6.5. I could see 6.5. Dream about it. I'm going to be here.
Give me a half a point.
Right. Give women's U.S. title and women's IC. Let it go, bud. I don't know if you noticed. You didn't get clicked on all night long. There's a reason why you're not getting clicked on, my guy. 5 out of 10. 5. Yeah. I mean, we got to give him some credit for the in-ring stuff. But I think 5 is a little low. Yeah, no, you're wrong. Ford versus
Well, no, he said 2.5 out of 3.5, so that's pretty fucking close.
Oh, I thought it was a range of score.
No. Oh, my bad. So you actually were right. I misread it. Mea culpa.
At least there's no Jericho. Just because he's not announced doesn't mean he's not going to show up, but we can hope. Jose, always a pleasure, guys. Thanks for a great show. Thank you so much, Jose, and everybody else out there. Thank you for joining us as always. These are nothing but fun. We are looking forward to getting towards 6K ASAP, Rocky. It's going to be a fun one. Make sure you be a friend, tell a friend, click all the buttons down below. Go leave some comments. Follow us on social. Go check out Anthony's stuff as well. And don't forget, we got we got Dynamite tomorrow. We have the Wing Show. We can't wait for the Wing Show on Thursday. Friday, SmackDown is going to be a fun one, of course. And then we head into another week of crazy wrestling. But be here for the Wing Challenge. Be here for Dynamite. Be here for all this stuff. Click the little bell. Don't miss out. We appreciate y'all. But not a bad night. Let's go.
Our shit is real. Our shit is raw. Our shit is all authentic. When you're talking about the rest of you, put that poor life with it.
Come back tomorrow, folks. See you on the flip side. Good night.